sugar wisdom. Flatline my mind, so I can be reborn again. Pronounce me DOA, so my new vessel won't no sin. This world is frozen, global corrosion is eating everyone alive, except for the Most High's chosen people. And ain't no sequel in the end time. The Hebrew Israelites, hit you rock your enzymes. Let me define my mind. It's not that complicated. He that has an enter here, his mental will be elevated. Simply stated, I was intoxicated and inebriated by the old me until I was emancipated. The shield of wisdom helps the purge of the schism within the body. Cause human nature taught me to be naughty and hardy. The words of hooked around has got a big disease, but I got spiritual medication so my soul can be at ease. We got the shield, we got the helmet and the sword. We got to kill that old man so we can kick it with the Lord. Brother, can't you see it? Wisdom, what the truth have done for me, yeah. Taught me nationality. Brother, can't you see it? Brother, can't you see it? What the truth have done for me, yeah. Taught me nationality. Brother, can't you see it? Brother, can't you see it? What the truth have done for me, yeah. Taught me nationality. Brother, can't you see it? Brother, can't you see it? What the truth have done for me, yeah. Taught me nationality. Brother, can't you see it? Judah, Negroes, Benjamin, West Indians, Levi, Haitians, Simeon, Dominicans, Zebulon, Holland to Panama, Ephraim, Puerto Ricans, Manasseh, Cubans, Gad, American Indians, Reuben, Seminole Indians, Naphtali, Argentinians and Chileans, Asher, Colombia, the Uruguayan, Issachar, Mexicans. Wake up! Judah! 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 Wake up!
Shalom, brothers and sisters. Peace. Welcome to Shield of Wisdom. I'm your host, Priest Star Wam. We've been doing a series on the devastation of the 10 tribes, part 2. So I hope you've been watching this series. It's very good information that we're bringing forth. We're bringing forth information from history books, and we also bringing forth the real information from the Word, how it coincides with the Word. It's going to get heavier and heavier, so if you have a pencil and pad, you might want to take some notes, or you might want to drop in a VCR tape to record this, because it's very pertinent information that you will have that most people will not even want to venture off into on television, on the airways at all, in your church or anywhere else. I have my special guest today. I have my brother Thara.
Shalom, Ak.
Shalom, brother.
Thank you for having me.
My brother Ra'ash Malak.
Shalom, brother.
Shalom. And so we're going to continue on this. If you want to continue reading and let the brothers and sisters know where you're reading from.
All right. My sources, first and foremost, are the Holy Bible, 1611 edition, King James. Is where we get all our source of our history. And our second source of information is the book of The Devastation of the Indies by Bartholomew de las Casas, which was a preacher ordained by the church to oversee the conquistadors as they came to the new land.
Sí, así como estamos comenzando, estamos leyendo del libro del rey Santiago, de los 1611, de la Biblia original, y también estamos leyendo del libro de Bartholomew de la Casa, la devestación de los indios. Ahorita estamos continuando de las otras lecturas que estamos haciendo.
Okay. Also, I'm going to go ahead and touch base on a couple other books. This book here is called Indian or Jews. Indian or Jews. This book was written in the early 1600s by Manasseh ben Israel, a Portuguese Jew. a Portuguese Jew. I'm also going to touch his bases on a book called A Star in the West. A Star in the West and the Lost Tribes of Israel, which identifies. These are just books, like the brother said, write them down if you can, Google them, because these are all books identifying ourselves with who we truly are. These are all Spaniards, conquistadors, and explorers identifying with ourselves with who we are. Everybody in the world, the educational system knows who we are except ourselves. We've been deprived of this information. So it's time for us as a nation of people, Black, Hispanic, and other people spread throughout the four corners of the earth to wake up through your true identity. You know, find out who you are. Come back to the fold.
It's true. We're the children of Israel, as this word is speaking of, from Genesis to Revelation.
Now, touching in. Now, before I get into this, I'm quite excited about this for the fact that what we did is we got a copy of Devastation of the Indies, which was a book that was shunned off the shelves. It's not even in publication to get into the last 3-4 years by revolutionary authors that's gone out there and pressed it. Now, that's why you see we lifted up the same book with different cover pages, because these are just revolutionary authors that are getting it out there, but the information is the same.
Sí.
Right.
You know, so go get it.
Con este libro, lo que está haciendo mi hermano es que este libro tocó muchos años para que lo pusieran otra vez para venderlo en las librerías, en cualquier lugar. So hay que apreciar esta información que estamos dando ahorita. Estos libros los está ayudando a nosotros a decir que nosotros somos los hijos de Israel, somos los originales y por qué a nosotros nos está pasando las cosas que nos están pasando. Agarren un libro, escríbanlo, toda la información, número de teléfono, para que si tengan preguntas.
Now, as we read The Devastation of the Indies by the grace and the power of the Most High and His only begotten Son, by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai, when we got that book, it was exciting to me when I first read it because I tell my brother, I said, priest, you know who these people are? This is us. No one could identify themselves but us. If you read the curses in Deuteronomy and the atrocities which this man Bartholomew de las Casas wrote, it's like if he read Deuteronomy 28 and wrote his own book. In Deuteronomy, the Father says, this is how you'll identify yourselves. So I was quite excited to identify myself with the Native Americans and the original Aborigines and the original people of the land, the original Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Scriptures.
That's right.
And through that, since our last 4 episodes, before we started the second series, I came into, by the grace of the Most High, a couple of other books, which it's amazing, a miracle, because these other books are conquistadors and Spaniards that were brought up on charges and brought up to testify against conquistadors because many Spaniards had done the exact same thing.
So taking Spaniards that's going against other Spaniards?
Oh yes, Spaniards that's going against other Spaniards.
Okay.
The King of Spain during this time called up everyone that raped and murdered us because of Bartholomew de las Casas writing this book. He gave this manuscript to the king when he got back to Spain, and as he read it, he had names, so he called all of these chiefs, conquistadors, and ministers on charges back in Spain.
Okay.
So we have documented fact that this is authentic, and we have names and documented books that have also been shunned off the shelves, stating the actual court dates and everything that went on during those times.
Así como estamos hablando nosotros.
Beautiful.
Man, that's beautiful. Eso es hermoso lo que están hablando mis hermanos aquí, porque así como estamos hablando en otro programa, que todo vamos a agarrar venganza, todo vamos a agarrar a justicia. Con esos otros libros, con esos paquetes que tiene acá mis hermanos, son libros que todavía no se han puesto en tiendas por las cuentas que tienen. Acá en esos libros nos vamos a ver con este libro que de Bartholomew de la Casa, cuando él regresó y le dio todas esas cuentas al rey, el rey llamó a todos que hicieron venganza contra los otros, a los que violaban, a los que mataban, a los que hicieron cualquier malo. So aquí vamos a ver quién son de verdad los hijos de Israel, con las palabras de los españoles.
Los españoles ellos mismos los están edificando a nosotros, a los hijos de Israel.
Qué bonito.
Okay.
Read some of it?
I'm gonna read it. I just got quotes. I'm gonna jump around, but this is beautiful. So I'll start here. Now, this is an account of the chief Indian who was encountered by one of the ministers or the missionaries.
Right.
Okay. So he says, "You remember, Francis, that my brethren told me that you should tell me something. Therefore, I entreat you that you would take and think not much to relate it." So the missionary's telling the Native American or the native of the land,
Right.
The other missionary that came, he told you he was going to send me, so tell me what you told him. It says, "The Indian answered, I will tell you what I know. Only do not trouble me, and you shall know the truth, as I have received it from my forefathers. But if you continue to trouble me much as you so seem to do, I will make you know nothing. Attend therefore, I pray you, to what I shall tell you. My brethren are the sons of Israel, and brought thither by the providence of God, who for their sake wrought many miracles, which you will not believe if I should tell you what I have learned from my forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." The book is called Indian or Jews. Go get this information, y'all. These are the Spaniards, time and time again. These are missionaries and conquistadors giving their facts on who we are. That's just one. I'm going to jump around real quick. Okay. It says, "A learned scholar, Arias Montonas." Now, this is one of their profound scholars in Spain at the time.
Right.
Okay, renowned, excuse me. It says, "A learned scholar, Arias Montanas, thinks that the Indians of New Spain, which is Mexico, and Peru are the offspring of Ophir, the son of Chatan, the nephew of Heber. He backs his opinion by the name Ophir, which by translation of letters is the same with Peru. And he adds that the name Peruvian dwells in the same numbers. Duff figures that the land is between New Spain and Peru, which was also called Ophir, then Peru, and that their countries that are Peru, from whence King Solomon brought gold, precious stones, etc., as in 1 Kings chapter 9, verse 10, and 2 Chronicles 9 and 21. This opinion seems more probable than any other, and may be backed by another name of the river Peru, which according to Gomoras, which is a historian, lies in the second degree from Panama 22 miles, as also by the name of the province of Yucatan, which may be derived from the Yucatan, the father of Ophir. Now, it says, "Josephus Alcorza saith that the name Peru was unknown to the natives themselves before the Spaniards gave them that name." So what he's saying is the name of Peru, before the Spaniards gave it the name Peru, was the name of Ophir. Ophir is a man in the Bible that could be found in 1 Kings and 2 Chronicles. Now, he's giving you the whole lineage. The land is Ophir, which is one of the people in the Bible. His father's name was Joktan, which in translation is Yucatan. Then, from the nephew Eber, which from Eber came Hebrew. So he's telling you who we are. Now, he goes further to elaborate. He says, the 10 lost tribes legends seems to have been introduced by many scholars. Torquemada as one who attributes all his corresponding treasures to the authorship of Las Casas. So this is another Spanish historian who studied the Las Casas works, said these are the lost tribes of Israel.
Right.
This is long before we even found the identity of ourselves again to who we were. They already knew who we were.
Right.
While we were still calling ourselves Cherokee and Tomahawk and Choctaw and so forth.
And so forth.
And Mayas and Incans and Africans. and so forth. It says, he goes on to say, the Native Americans, he says, are the greatest nation in the world. And well they may be, considering the size of the continent which they occupy. So much being granted, he triumphantly invites the attention to the first chapter of Hosea, the prophet. Is it not written, the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea?
Hosea 1 and 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, you're not the children of Israel, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power.
You are the children of Israel.
That's right.
That's right.
It is being told to you right now.
Scripture, prophecy fulfilled. Amen.
That's right. Amen. Go ahead.
So again, he brings attention to the book of the prophet Hosea. He goes on to quote it. The number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea. But it is said that they have turned to idolatry. And many therefore be supposed to have fortified their interest under prophecy fulfilled. Says the fact of their amused numbers remains, nevertheless, surely conclusive. But if any difficult should be left, it is removed by considering the Native American language, which is nothing other than but so many sorts of Hebrew, so many sorts of corrupt Hebrew dialects.
Listen, let's think about how they used to show the Indian movies, the cowboy Indian movies. Right. They used to have them go around the circle. They said, but it's ancient Hebrew.
It's ancient Hebrew. It's the alphabet
that they're looking at.
Abba, Gada, Ha, and so forth.
That's right. So I mean, it's like it's right there. It's just a matter of listening and really paying attention to things. It's like right now our people are just speaking the languages that we were made to speak by our oppressors.
Our people right now are dealing in a state of gross darkness for refusing to acknowledge. Now, a lot of people, when they hear this lesson...
And gross darkness, man, is gross ignorance.
Gross ignorance, thank you.
Yeah.
Now, because what happens is that a lot of people will hear this word come forth and they won't hearken to it because they love living a lie. They love living the condition that they're in. We've been programmed, and most people don't want to be deprogrammed. They love living in that state of mind. It's a lot easier to just go with the flow than to stick out and do it. That's why Hamashiach Yahushai, the anointed Savior, they picked up stones against him. They picked up stones against him many times to kill him. They sought to kill him many times. The Sadducees and the Pharisees, which are the preachers and the ministers, sought to kill him many times because he was telling them they were teaching lies. So many doctrines, only one Bible. So many religions, only one Bible.
Right.
If you give up your religion and be your Bible, we'll be on one accord. But while you hold dear to religion, you will be stuck in that state of gross darkness.
And you'll be separated from the Most High by Hashem HaMashiach Yahushua, the anointed Savior.
That's right.
So, to go on, he says, go where you will, the author says, Cuba, Española, Jamaica, you will find the same thing. And as these islands were first populated from the continent, the language of the continents are presumptuously Hebrew also.
Oh my goodness.
The very name of the islands are taken from the Holy Tongue. Consider the word Cuba. Is that not excellent Hebrew? But some imaginary cavalier might object. Cuba means helmet. Okay. Notably, helmet of brass which Saul arrayed David. They're in court arguing. So one said, no, Cuba means helmet. Okay, so the historian said, okay, noted. Obviously, the helmet that Saul gave David when he went about to slay the Philistines.
Right.
So look at it how you will, there's no running from it. This is who they are.
Right.
He says, precisely the obvious resort. The West Indian Islands received their names from the Hebrew chieftain who discovered them. The ruler in Israel who first reached Cuba was named Helmet, presumably from the magnificence of which he wore. From Cuba, the author passes to Haiti. The true form, which name he tells us is Katin Tal Tiku, He supposes it to be derived from the bold Israelite who first reached the island. At any rate, it is